So today I'm going to show you our app management component, which we shipped as a pre-release last week. This is a component that we're putting into NetApp Kubernetes services, which is a solution being offered by NetApp. It's basically, the concept is that uh, Kubernetes is great at managing infrastructure, and we've built a platform that allows you to spin up clusters, manage day one type operations, so build clusters, build reference clusters, add solutions at the time the cluster is built, things like Prometheus, things like Elasticsearch, Fluentd, Kibana, and then day two type operations, things like upgrade a cluster and stuff like that. But there's no real good way of managing the workload that's on top of that cluster. So we've built a thing that we call app management, which we hope makes it easier to build, ship, and run your application that you're building inside of Kubernetes, and be able to scale that automatically, be able to view logs, metrics, attach users to that project, attach dashboards, various things like that, get insights into the costs of the workload. All of that is what we hope to do and are doing with app management. We approach it from the point of view of a IT manager and a developer are the two personas that are on top of mind for us, along with the operator of the infrastructure itself. But today, with our release, we're focusing on our app management component. So, what I have in front of me is a pinned item page, which is where you can place workspaces that you're commonly working inside of. These are things like maybe a development environment or a staging environment would be pinned here. What we're trying to show you is a real-time view of what's happening in your environment. So things like CPU usage across all your clusters that you have in the workspace, average memory usage across all those clusters as well. We also show you the health. If we have multiple clusters, say five, they would all be green. Those are all healthy. If you have projects, which are application workload that you have out in the environment, if all those are healthy, then that would be green. The other intent here is to provide you with a quick dashboard that gives you insight into what is happening inside of your application workload and your infrastructure. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just add a project. And a project is what we're trying to tell users here is that if you're going to be working in an application, you will be building maybe multiple deployments. You're going to have multiple services, maybe some variety of volumes that you can use, and you're going to group this all into a single project. And so the idea is that if an external user looks at it, does it look as like it's a single application? If so, that's a single project. And then inside of Kubernetes, what we do is we map this project to a namespace. So this is effectively allowing you to manage namespaces as if they're projects that your developers are working on. And this is from a context of an IT manager. So my project name is maybe my new app. So we're beginning to work on this, and I want to place it on my dev workspace on my Shy Flower cluster. I go forward here. At this point, I am able to, if I want to, set thresholds that my developers can't exceed, or the workload cannot exceed inside this environment. So, say this is going to be for developers, and I don't want them to spin up more than 15 pods and say 5 services, right? And then I go to next, and at this point, if I want to, I can customize the teams that have access to this. If there's going to be a certain development team that's going to be working on this project, then at this point, you're able to begin to manage it. We're not going to do that right now. We'll just skip to creating the project. So as we do this, you can see that we're watching our namespaces on the cluster come online, and so we're just sitting there waiting. And now the namespace is there, so the project is created. We don't have any pods in it. We don't have any deployments. And how do we get workload into the environment? So what we've built is 3 ways of getting workload in and then managing it inside of Kubernetes. The first way is if you want to continue to use your existing tooling, things like kubectl, you want to do kubectl my YAML kubectl apply my YAML into the runtime environment. You could go into tracker and then just simply say, associate this label with, as an application inside of my cluster in this project. What we'll do is we'll show you the aggregate logs for all of those objects. We'll show you all the metrics that go to it as well. And so this is a way of us being able to support your existing tooling without forcing our tooling onto you. We're not going to do that right now. The other option of adding a solution is I can go to our marketplace, and this is just a set of packages where I can import my own packages. So I can bring in my own charts. In this example, I have pulled in and just associated the public Bitnami repository with NKS, which allows just me as Matt logged into the product to see just these. So what I'm saying here is I can actually scope private marketplaces to my development teams. And so these are things I've been working on. There are these things they need to have access to. They can have access to them. But if other teams do not need to see these, then they don't need to see these. As NetApp, we also support a set of what we call trusted charts. And these are things where you could just add it to your cluster. So say if you want to add Redis to your environment, you just do Redis and then create package. And what this will do is deploy Redis using Helm out into the cluster, and then we'll put it under management under NKS, and then we'll show you the aggregate logs and aggregate metrics for that workload, and we'll also allow you to turn on scaling and things like that. The final way of getting your workload into the environment, which is to use what we call workflow, and that is the center option. So here, what I want to say is this is my front end application, right? I want to turn on my update strategy. So this could be either a rolling update or a recreate. I could set my max unavailable replicas, my max replica surge. I can also turn on auto scaling if I wanted to. So this could be say 4, and this could be say 10, right? And I could say maybe trigger on 70%. At this point, what we're going to go do is just set up you create a few objects inside of the project on Kubernetes, so inside of the namespace, and then provide you with a set of configuration items that would allow you to then subsequently push code out into that project using Git. So let's go ahead and do that. So first, create application. And you just gotta wait for this to come online, and now it is online. So here we still don't have anything running, so we don't have any deployments. And the neat thing here is what we do is we will simply associate a Git remote to our side, which I've already done on this on my end already. And from there, what I would be able to do is push some code. So here I've already created some code that I've pulled down, just some demo code we've been using across various things. And, it's just going to say hello NKS. And, I have a typo here, so maybe I should go fix that. Save that. And then if I want to, I will be able to now subsequently commit it and then have it up in the running environment over here. We also provide you with a vanity URL that you can use so that you can actually look at what you're working on. So if you are working on a front-end application, something that you want to be able to hit using a public ingress, we do set that up and provide a domain. So you just tap that, and now you go and see, oh my gosh, I don't have anything there. but that's because you don't have anything running. So let's push our code. So all I have to do is git add, git commit, slight changes here, git push and ks master. And now we're pushing code up to, now we're basically initiating a build process inside the cluster. Once it's done, we'll begin to show the number of pods, the number of deployments, and some actions over here to debug it, to view the services, replicas, and the name. But first, let's go over here and look at this. So here we have the pod coming online. Once this is done, then the services, everything come online, and we're able to reach it. It does take a few minutes to do that, so I'm just going to jump back to over here and show you that now we do show that you have a cluster that's living. You have a project that seems to be healthy. Your CPU usage and your memory usage is that right now. I can go in and view the project, see metrics there, the health as well, and then begin to dig into that. Now I'm watching pods come online. So right now I have an error state. I don't have a pod that's running, so we're just waiting. Once that corrects and the pod is up and running in the environment, we'll show this as a success. What we'll also do is, as we build the deployment, as we build the container, we'll also place it inside of an enterprise registry that we do ship with the product. We ship Harbor integrated into NKS that runs, where you're able to manage that through the UI. We have basic management around that right now. By GA, which is going to be in October, we'll ship more ways of managing that registry. But for now, what we're doing is we're building the image, place the image in that registry. You're also able to do a Helm push to push charts into that registry that are your own, and then leverage those inside the NKS environment. You're also able to push your own containers into that registry. And then leverage those in the environment as well. So we do have basic management around that and a way of seeing it. I don't have a registry currently running. We'll do that in a separate demo. Right now I've got my front end here, and as you can see, metrics are beginning to change. I've got the deployment is here now. I've got a single replica there. I've got the services. I've got a way of seeing and debugging this, so I can go and look at the debug messages and go, okay, what's going on here? Everything looks cool. Let's close that, and now hopefully the service is online and public, and my my front end, my ELB has picked this up, and there we go. And so now you can see that your app is up and running. You can see what's happened on the environment here, and if I want to, I can make changes and push that again, and then the whole process starts over, and now you're shipping code, and that's that.